Hi, everyone. Continuing this special weekend focused on Chicago, which I have never heard the band before this weekend. Today's song is going to be Hard to Say I'm Sorry, Get Away. And I have to say, after yesterday's experience, I am curious to see, have they borrowed something else, or is this something that I don't recognize as coming from any other source, being inspired by any other source? So I'll have my ears open to that, as well as getting more familiar with their overall sound, each instrumentalist's and the singer's particular style, and, just getting familiar with the band. Hard to Say I'm Sorry was released on May 17, 1982, as the lead single from the album Chicago 16. On September 11 of that year, it reached number 1 for 2 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. It was the group's second number 1 single. It was their first top 50 hit since No Tell Lover in 1978, and it spent 12 weeks in the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100. The single was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Pop Performance by a duo or group with vocal, and was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America in September of the same year. So, another successful piece by an incredibly successful band. Let's see how it sounds.
Everybody needs a little time away, I heard her say, from each other. Even lovers need a holiday, far away from each other. Hold me now, it's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to stay. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me I can't let go.
Such a different sound and different feel than the one yesterday, and well, of course, it's a whole different topic, but it's very soothing, ballad-like, and melodic. The piano, the strings, I don't hear the horns in this one. And I don't know if it's simply because it's a different song, or is it because it's more than a decade later than the one I just listened to yesterday, but it has a whole different sonic feel to it. And actually, it does make me think of another song I've heard, although not so strongly. In fact, gotta think about it for a minute. I guess it's the Scorpions Still Loving You. Somehow, this opening with the piano and the strings and this voice, everybody needs a little time away. I heard her say from each... I gotta hear this again. But I am curious which one came first. I like that cello coming in.
Everybody needs a little time away, I heard her say, from each other.
I don't know, maybe it's even...
Still Loving You came 2 years later.
Okay. And it's always hard for me when I'm in the middle of one song to switch my mind to another enough to see how... Da da dum bum dee da dum. Is that Still Loving You? Da da dum ba dum da dum. Or is it even another song? I don't know.
You're messing me up.
I know that the voice, I guess it's the sound of the voice is what makes me think of Still Loving You and the pacing and all, but
away.
even melodically,
I had to
I hear something.
stay from each
Yeah.
other.
I feel like it could go a little bit differently.
Even lovers need a holiday.
Holiday, Holiday. What's the holiday song?
Yeah, it's Scorpion.
Is that Scorpions?
Yes.
Okay.
But Holiday was released in 79, 3 years earlier.
I don't know what to say. I don't want to give the impression that I feel like Chicago is a rip-off band. I don't want to say that. But somehow it seems like both of these pieces I've listened to this weekend are linking so strongly to other, not just other songs, but other bands sonically. I mean, yesterday it was 25 or 6 to 4 with a real Zeppelin-esque sound, not just the riff, but also the drums. And now here I'm hearing more of the Scorpions type voice and musical style, and I've already linked it to 2 Scorpion songs that I know. I don't know, is that the only 2 Scorpion songs I know? Probably.
Well, we also have to say that this sound is more of the, we could say, the 80s sound in the rock genre.
I totally understand that.
Maybe if you think about some of the Queen's songs from that era, little bit of
I could see a little bit of that.
towards pop a bit, the hard Led Zeppelin sound is gone now. It's more a bit towards pop disco, maybe just a bit. I'm not saying it's disco, but it's just a little bit, a step or half step closer to that.
Listen to you starting to use musical terms, half step. You could have said semitone closer. As I said, I'm not accusing Chicago of being a rip-off band. I guess maybe more what I'm noticing is how clearly they're projecting and presenting a certain style or sound or era, perhaps. Maybe that's what I'm hearing. Anyway, we're just barely gotten. Look, I'm getting my words all mixed up. I can't even speak a clear sentence. We're just barely gotten. That's gibberish.
Everybody needs a little time away. I had to say from each other. Even lovers need a holiday.
Come, let me take you far away.
Far away from each other. Hold me now. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to stay. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me I can't let go.
I love that. I can't help but love that suspension that they're using, that suspension resolution that they're using as kind of a cadential point, a closing to the end of each these lines here. If we listen, what's happening in the piano?
Said and done, you're just a part of me I can't let go.
It's such sweet pain, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, I think it's a B chord there. Let's back up just a little bit and hear it coming in.
You're just a part of me I can't let go.
And when they're not just using that chord, but they're making it a real feature, this suspension resolution. And I guess it's been a while since I talked about suspensions and resolutions. So quick refresher. What am I talking about? We're coming back to a chord here, which is kind of a rival point, the B major chord. And within this chord, it's a major chord. If we simply sit right here, we've got all harmonies. But sometimes when they're coming from a different place, let's say that we're coming from E down to B. And in this arrangement of E, well, E is right here. My B chord is here. You can see these strings B, D sharp, F sharp. E sits right between the two upper notes of the B chord. So this E is right between. You can hear that as even a feature of the melody, right? So they're playing with this idea of dissonance because this E doesn't belong to the B chord. It belongs to a different chord. It could be, let's say it could be the 4 chord. It could be the E chord. But instead of just moving smoothly from E down to the B chord, all harmony, this note, the E, that does not belong to B, is held in place. So let's say we're here, and we hear this note that belongs harmonizing with it. Now we move to the B, and you hear it clash against this. Isn't that a wonderful, vibrant, like citrusy clash? And then finally, it moves. It's a delayed motion, right? And that's when we get the release. So from here to here, clash, and then sweetness. And so it's this movement from E, and then delayed movement down to the note below, which is really being used as a feature here. We're not only hearing it in the melody, everybody needs a little time away, but then when we get to the piano chords here, you can hear it coming, and you can hear clash, dum, bum, and then dum, dum, bum.
Couldn't stand to be kept away just for the day from your body. Wouldn't wanna be swept away, far away from the one that I love. Oh, now it's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to know. Hold me now. I really wanna tell you I'm sorry. I could never let
A little bit of brass in there.
After all that we've been
Wasn't that a sort of surprise and kind of makes us sit up and notice? We've been hearing this constant bum 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 pulsing every beat. The music is just flowing along. It's really a piece that just carries you along with it through each beat. Bum bum. The drums are doing a fine job doing what they're doing, but it's more the pulsing of each chord on each beat. And then we get this sort of feeling of relentless. Bum, 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 bum. It's a sort of musical way of never letting go, and reflects the I could never let you go. Dum, bum, 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 bum. And then, as we've kind of settled into this and it's taken hold of us, it's gripped us and holding on tight to us, we come to this moment of,
I really wanna tell you I'm sorry. I could never let you go. After all
that little
we've been
retard there.
through, I will make it up to you. I promise to. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me I can't let go. After
This
all
Brad
that
Drive.
we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to.
Okay, I gotta stop it there. I promise I'll back up because it's building up just fabulously. But I have to say that I love the pacing of this. I love how well they're building us up to this climax. That little retard that I pointed out, it comes at a kind of surprising moment, and it doesn't last long. It's not a really final spot, but it really helps to kind of accentuate this statement of, I could never let you go. It's almost like I'm grabbing hold of you. It's taken hold of us, and now it's pulling us back and saying, you're stopping here. I can't let you go. It's too much. It's too much for me. I can't let you go. And then what I love here, and I've got to go back and listen anyway, I thought it was brass coming up, kind of in the background, buzzing away, and I was enjoying that. Again, it's a sort of citrusy, spicy, edgy, really vibrant, alive sound building in the music, but then it kind of moved towards what I suspect is a guitar solo. And so I don't even know now, was that guitar or was that brass? Anyway, we're going to back up a little bit and enjoy this build up, and I'll see if I can work it out as we go.
I promise to. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me I can't let go. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to.
That was really great. It was. I enjoyed it. I have to say that in some ways I find this piece more compelling, more irresistible than the two Scorpions pieces that it reminded me of, which are lovely in their own right. But what Chicago has done here is they have built us up to this grand, expansive moment. And then it comes down and, settles, and we feel like, okay, this is like maybe the credits at the end of the movie. And then suddenly blasts into this celebratory, happy, exuberant expression of joy. And it's kind of like, I couldn't quite make out what the words were saying there, but it's, I don't know if it says when we get back or when you get back or something like that. In other words, we are coming back together and it's going to be such a grand, perfect moment. And the happiness of it is just exploding out of there. And it becomes this wonderful kind of sequel, not really a sequel, but conclusion to the whole story. And isn't this a lovely expression of affection and commitment and love? This, you can hear the sort of, as I said, well, the dissonance and then the sweetness of the suspension resolution, this, which features throughout the piece, is such a great musical representation of this fact that sometimes the most beautiful moments come after moments of conflict. When there is tension in, if a person's life is just completely easy and smooth and undisturbed by any kind of stress or difficulty, it's sweet, it's beautiful, but we almost lack the ability to appreciate it until we feel some stress, some dissonance, some clash in our lives, whether it's internal or external or relationship or life circumstances, whatever it is. But then when it all resolves, there is this same moment of, isn't that amazing? And then out of there, Chicago takes it even further and says, fireworks, let's celebrate. Let's just enjoy this. And it's almost like we hear the next chapter of life starting, where this moment in the relationship, this moment of her doubting or her needing a little space and the first person here saying, I can't let you go. It's too much for me. I love you. Hold me. We've had some difficulties, but I am committed and I love you, and there's no way out of this for me. And so we hear almost like after all of this has settled, after the dust has settled, and they both come together and they feel like, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the life we want. Let's go celebrate and let's live in that joyful knowledge that we are perfect for each other. It's a lovely piece of music. As Vlad was saying, maybe we could call it commercial-y a bit, but at the same time, it's not just throwing out one sound that isn't relevant or isn't appropriate to the message and the emotions being expressed. I feel like whether you want to call it commercial or not, what they've done here is really, it hits the mark. It hits it in the center and does a fabulous job of expressing what we find in the lyrics here. Beautifully so, compellingly so, powerfully so. And I guess it's one that I'll be returning to, putting on my playlist, because I enjoyed it and it was nice. And yeah, that's how I feel about it. So here I've heard 2 Chicago pieces this weekend, both so different, which of course, as you know, is going to make me incredibly curious about the rest of their work. So I'm sure you'll be seeing more Chicago showing up in the future on this channel. I'll see you soon.